that if the government really wants to, they can bring back the former president to the Philippines. Ang pinupunto ko dyan sa article kong yan, ay yung ginagamit ng gobyerno. That under Republic Act 9851, they can surrender the former president to the Hague because under the law, even if we're investigating crimes against humanity, if there is such a request, we can do so. And that is what this government did. Yan ang ginawa nila. Dahil sa ilalim ng batas na yan, Republic Act 9851, eh kahit daw tayo nag-iimbestiga na, umpisa ng investigasyon sa isang akusado, isang mamamayan na inaakusahan ng pagkamit ng krimen laban sa sangkatauhan for crimes against humanity, pwede daw nating i-surrender pag ni-request siya ng isang international criminal court o isang bansa. Yan ang ginagamit nila. Ang problema, tama sila in a way, but sinakalimutan nila palagi yun. The first paragraph, bago sinabing we can do that, ang nakalagay ay in the interest of justice. Ibig sabihin, bago mo magagawa yun, kailangan talaga muna, kung yung gagawin mong pagsuko, pag-ito ng investigasyon, ay pabor sa interest ng ating bansa. Eh, how can it be in the interest of justice? Nasusuko ka ng isang mamamayan who is being charged with committing a crime committed in the Philippines with the victims supposed to be Filipinos like him. Tapos papalitisin mo sa isang dayuang hukuman. Dahil lang common sense will tell you na maling-mali yun. Pangalawa, hindi lamang in the interest of justice, yun ang first words na lumabas sa provision. May nakalagay pa doon, habang pwede mong isuko, surrender, kahit iniimbestigan mo, kailangan yung pagsuko mo should be nasa ilalim pa rin ng mga tratado o regulasyon na ipinasok ng bansa with a foreign court or with a foreign country. O, sa ilalim ng tratado, kahit dyan sa ICC, kahit na wala siyang jurisdiction, assuming na meron, yun nakalagay doon, kung gusto mong arestuhin ang isang mamamayan na gusto mong dalhin sa ICC at makikiusap ka sa gobyerno para ipatupad. Para ipatupad yung batas na yun, kailangan padaanin mo sa lokal na hukuman. You have to pass through local court. Because that is an element, a requirement of due process. Kailangan pagbigyan mo ng pagkakataon yung hinihingi mong akusado, pa-arrestuin mo para malaman ng hukuman kung valid yung warrant, kung kayo pumapasok sa jurisdiction na. Yan ang hindi nila ginawa. Maliban pa dyan, I was saying in that article that Republic Act 9851 was not ratified prior to the commission of the alleged crimes. Madali sabi, yung mga crimes against humanity, ginawa yon sa panahon na hindi pa na-ratify yung treaty between ICC at the Pilipinas. Wala pa eh. So, madali sabi, kung hindi pa ratified, hindi pa enforceable. Assuming na may jurisdiction sila. So on both counts, talagang wala silang jurisdiction. Kaya sinasabi natin na ang Korte Suprema, ang ating mga hukuman, ay meron kapangyarihan na ideklara yung pag-aresto ko Presidente Rodrigo Roa Duterte na illegal. Na illegal din ang pagditini at illegal ang pagsuko. Pagsuko, sapagkat ito'y lumabag. Hindi lamang sa ligang batas natin, hindi lang sa Republic Act 9851. Kung hindi pati sa Rome statute nila na nagtatak na kailangan dumangkas sa lokal na government. So yan sinasabi natin. Kaya sabi namin sa petition, ang ating pamahalaan ay may kapangyarihan na utusan ng gobyerno nito na ibalik ang Presidente Rodrigo Roa Duterte sapagkat illegal ang kanilang ginawa. Ang gobyerno ay illegal ang ginawa sa dating president. Yun ang pinakapunto ng artikulo niya.
Yes, Attorney Sal, I like how you summarize it in your article dito po sa isang paragraph. As shown from the deliberations quoted above the exchange between the centers, these qualifying words were necessary because the ICC had yet to acquire jurisdiction over the Philippines pursuant to the Rome Statute. So klaro na wala nga talagang jurisdiction ang ICC dito sa Pilipinas, lalo na umalis na ang Pilipinas sa ICC.
Yeah, alam mo, maraming, I repeatedly discussed, maraming grounds bakit walang jurisdiction. The first one is the theory articulated by the former president that ICC has no jurisdiction whatsoever because the Rome Statute was never published in the official gazette, which is a requirement under our laws pursuant to the due process clause of the Constitution. Number two, even assuming that it had jurisdiction, nawala na siya because we withdrew as members. Kaya kahit saan mo tingnan, talagang walang jurisdiction. And even assuming na meron pa rin, merong procedural na requirement. Ano yung procedural requirement? On both countries, both their jurisdiction, ICC and the Philippines, yung ICC, as I said earlier, kailangan napadaan mo sa lokal na hukuman. Yung extradition treaty naman natin, ganun din sa lahat ng bansa na may extradition tayo. Bago mo isuko, kailangan padaan mo sa lokal na hukuman. Kailangan magkaroon muna ng hearing doon.
Yes, Attorney Sal, sana nga magkaroon ng redemption ang administrasyon na ito na maibalik dito sa Pilipinas si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Samantala, Attorney Sal, let's switch to another Duterte naman po. Nilinaw ni Vice President Sara Duterte ang kontrobersyal na pahayag niyang bloodbath kaugnay ng impeachment trial laban sa kanya. Giit niya, isang political persecution at crucifixion laban sa kanya ang impeachment. Si Anton Cero sa report.
Binigyang diin ni Vice President Sara Duterte na ang impeachment trial ay bahagi ng pampulitikang pag-uusig laban sa kanya. Kasado na raw ang kanyang depensa at kahit wala siyang tiwala sa pagiging patas ng proseso, handa siyang lumaban. Sa gitna ng umiinit na usapin sa kanyang impeachment, nilinaw ni Vice President Sara Duterte kung ano ang ibig niyang sabihin sa salitang bloodbath na una na niyang binanggit kaugnay ng magaganap na pagdilitis laban sa kanya. Ayon sa Vice Presidente, maraming tao ang sinadyang hindi intindihin ang konteksto ng kanyang pahayag.
We have always said that the impeachment is a political persecution. It is the administration going after me after I resigned from the cabinet. And if it's a persecution, it's some sort of crucifixion against me. Diba? And so when there's a crucifixion, there's blood. So it's a bloodbath, my bloodbath. So I'm just sad that many people refuse to understand the context wherein I give statements.
Sabi ni Vivi Sara, matagal na siyang naghanda para sa impeachment trial at hindi lamang sa legal na aspeto, kundi pati na rin sa emosyonal at pisikal. Simula pa umano noong Nobyembre 2023, nang unang lumutang ang isyu mula kay dating Representative Franz Castro, ay sinimulan na niyang ihanda ang kanyang sarili. Aniya, matagal nang handa ang kanyang depensa upang sagutin ang mga akusasyon at tiyaking hindi maapakan ang kanyang karapatan sa proseso.
From the defense, the people can expect that they will do their utmost, their best in protecting the rights, my rights as an accused in an impeachment trial, and they will do their utmost as well to answer the allegations, the accusations. They have prepared for this since 2023.
Binigyang diin ni VP Duterte na hindi niya inaasahang magiging patas ang impeachment proceedings na ayon sa kanya ay puno ng bahid ng politika mula pa noong simula. Ibinunyag niyang ginamit ang budget hearing para umano manguha ng ebidensya laban sa kanya. At nang mabigo, agad na naglunsad ng investigasyon sa confidential funds kung saan ang tanging inimbitahan ay ang kanyang tanggapan.
As we heard former Congresswoman Kimbo say, let's stick to our plan. So there was already a plan of fishing evidence from that budget hearing. When they failed to get evidence from the budget hearing, they proceeded to investigation in aid of legislation about confidential funds, and yet it was only the Office of the Vice President that was invited to that hearing in aid of legislation, and no other department was invited to speak about confidential funds.
Mariing binatikos ni Vice President Duterte ang ginawang investigasyon ng Kamara kaugnay sa confidential funds ng OVP. Ayon sa kanya, malinaw na may pattern na panggigipit at paninira laban sa kanya.
And what they did there was harass, threaten our staff from the Office of the Vice President. So you can see the pattern here. And then when they failed to get evidence from that investigation in aid of legislation, they proceeded to just file the articles of impeachment, from which we can see that there were 3 articles of impeachment that was filed wherein they did not follow the procedure.
Kunisyon din ni VP Sara kung tunay bang nabasa ng mga kongresistang pumirma ng nilalaman ng impeachment complaint na halos sabay-sabay umanong nalagdaan. Bagamat nagpahayag si Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. na ayaw niyang ma-impeach si VP Sara, iginiit ng Vice Presidente na hindi personal ang usapin.
As I said yesterday, our personal feelings and our personal problems are not important at this point. What is important at this point? What are the things that are important at this point is our country, the issues that we face, and of course our kababayans, ang taong bayan, the Philippines, but the Filipinos abroad as well.
Para sa Diyos at sa Pilipinas kong mahal, ako si Anton Cero, ang inyong citizen correspondent, SMNI News Europe.